Hello and welcome. Hi everyone, this is Patty Bennett. How are you today? Today is Friday, May 28th, and this is a series of live videos on Fridays. I am so happy you've joined me. What a fun time we are going to have talking about this really cute, sweet as a peach stamp set. So if you have found me live, then you're on Facebook. You might be watching a replay, which is great as well. So I just wanted to say hello and welcome, and we are going to have some fun talking about this cute set today. If you are joining me live, please just type a quick hello. Let me know that you're here. Hi, Teresa and Rosamond and Nikki, Tanya. So good to see you. All right. So we are in the right place. If you are watching a replay, welcome. If we haven't met yet, my name is Patty Bennett. I blog here at pattystamps.com every day. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Actually, we'll be celebrating 26 years in June. So a long time. I absolutely love what I do and love to share with you. So thanks for joining me today. By the way, all of these fun supplies are found in the current annual Stampin' Up catalog. If you don't have one, you are going to want one because there are so many amazing supplies in here that you just, might need to have. So You're a Peach suite of products is found on page 60 and 61. And we are going to be using these products today. If you need a catalog or if you need any of the products, you can hop over to pattystamps.com when we are done, and you will find a link at the top of my blog to request a catalog. You'll also find a link to shop. So let's talk about this great suite and the products we're using. We are using the stamp set called Sweet as a Peach. We are also using the designer paper, which actually isn't shown here specifically. You can see some kind of sneak peeks here, but you do need to flip back to the back of the catalog, page 134, to find bigger samples of the You're a Peach paper, and it is fabulous. I have used almost every design in our cards today, and since it's not shown on that suite page, I went ahead and just cut some 4x6 pieces here so that you can see we have cute flowers and peaches and more peaches and more flowers and more peaches, and the back sides are really great, just sort of all-purpose patterns, the polka dots and the lines, the stripes, and then this is just sort of a fun watercolor-ish looking background that you can use. So those are the wonderful patterns in this paper called You're a Peach. I love it. Oh, good. Christine said she just ordered this collection. Yes, you're going to love it. Yes, Jennifer, it's beautiful, isn't it? Hi, Pam. Hi, thank you. Oh, thank you, everyone. So good to see you on here. Greetings, greetings. Alrighty, so we are going to use this paper, and what I really wanted to show you was a stamping tip to get this really cool two-toned look on the peaches today. So this is not going to be a very long video. It's mainly going to focus on showing you how to stamp this and how to stamp the larger peach also here to get that two-toned look with two different ink colors. But what I did want to point out about these fun cards is the variety of the paper. Isn't this pretty? All of these colors are marvelous. I love this. And it was kind of funny. I just have to tell you, you might have seen this already on my blog today. But when I was pulling out colors to stamp with, I looked at the catalog to make sure which blue this was. And I was surprised actually that it's balmy blue. And I thought I didn't really like balmy blue. I didn't know how much I liked it. And I was like, oh wow, this is so pretty. So these are the colors, the pale papaya, put them in this order actually. And the Calypso Coral are what we're using for the peaches, Granny Apple Green for the leaves, and then Balmy Blue for the greeting and the little flowers because it picks up this color. So that is our color palette, and it is on my blog post today. You'll also find more samples tomorrow on 5/29, as well as the replay of this video. This is what the stamp set looks like if you haven't seen it. So we're going to use this branch and the peaches and these cute little flowers and the greetings today on our cards. Since this is a photopolymer set, I'm also using my Stampin' Pierce mat. And sometimes people ask, well, why? What is the difference? Why do you do that? Because with a photopolymer set, you have the photopolymer rubber. Well, I guess it's rubber, that you have the photopolymer, but you don't have that foam backing that normally you would have on a red rubber stamp. So this provides that extra cushion that is helpful in getting a really nice stamped image. If you don't have one, you can purchase one from the catalog. You can also use the foam mat for the Stamparatus, and I'm pretty sure you could use a mouse pad. I haven't actually tried that, but I do know that our foam mat works great. So what I did here on these cards to get sort of the maximum exposure of all these beautiful patterns was I cut this pattern into 1 inch by 5.5 inch strips. So that was the one with the balmy blue background. And then the other patterns I cut to 3 inches by 5.5. Oh, I mostly have this one left over. Well, there's the back of that. Here's another pattern there. And let's see, let's look at the back of this one. Is the green. And then I also discovered that this was really cute. So I wanted to show you this on this card here. I used the die called Penned Flowers. It has this adorable little scallop, and I scalloped the edge of this paper just to give it sort of a cute, I don't know, is it like almost a Mary Englebright kind of a look? That's sort of what I was thinking that it looked like. And then if you want a larger scallop, I did these two, and this is in the Scalloped Contour die set, this larger scallop. So here's a comparison there of the smaller one and the larger one. I think they both look really cute, and it's just kind of a fun, different idea as opposed to just having the straight edge, but the straight edge looks fabulous as well, right? I think it does. I think it's really cute. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yep, today is my 61st birthday. Thank you, everyone. So sweet of you. I wanted to mention that I used 5 colors of cardstock for my bases. So here's the Pale Papaya, Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, and Thick Basic White. Maybe you can see them a little bit better here. So those are the 4 colors I used because I felt that they went best with all of these patterns in this, is it You're a Peach? Yeah, You're a Peach designer paper. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Sweet of you. So let's go ahead and stamp this peach, and then we'll go over some of these cards again just to show you the dimensions and how quickly the card went together. So bringing in our foam Stampin' Pierce mat is the official name of it. And I'm going to have my Calypso Coral and Pale Papaya ink, as well as a sponge dauber. And let's just do this on a piece of Whisper White just to begin with, and then I will go ahead and stamp the whole thing on our die cut from Stitched So Sweetly. So here's just a piece of Whisper White, and we will do that. Now I like to stamp the stem first, because this stem, I'll show it to you on this side, has a break here and a break here, and it actually allows these peaches to nest right into those spots. And if you prefer to stamp the 3 flowers in those spots, they will nest right in there as well instead of the peaches. So inking up and stamping in Granny Apple Green. So there are our stems, and you can see those breaks in the stems, and that is where our little peaches are going to fit. So we are going to ink them in Pale Papaya. You know what? I'm going to show you a comparison. So let me stamp this twice, and I'll show you why I did what I did with this. So just Pale Papaya, just plain Pale Papaya. And sorry, I'm standing up and I'm kind of looking down through the camera so I can line that up. So there is just Pale Papaya. Looks great, but let me show you the difference. When you ink in Pale Papaya and you add a little bit of Calypso Coral with a sponge dauber. Now, it doesn't really matter where you add the ink, but I inked my dauber, and I am just going to do sort of a half crescent. Well, a crescent is a, never mind, it's not a half crescent. A crescent shape on each one. And then when I stamp this, sorry, it is difficult to look down through the camera and do this, but I'm lining it up as best as I can. Look at the difference. Isn't that a fabulous difference where you get just a really more realistic and some shading? And if you really wanted to like pay attention and really look at where the shadow and where the highlight would be, you could do this a little more artistically than I did, but you get the idea. So let me just clean it off, and we'll go ahead and stamp our final one that's going to go on our card. And I did discover that really you can stamp this branch in different directions. Let me see if I did 3 different ones. I don't know if I kept that other one out here. I'm looking, I'm checking. Well, I didn't keep the 3rd one out here, but I did different directions of the branch, and really it doesn't matter which direction you stamp it. You can just go ahead and stamp either those peaches or the flowers, and it looks great. So however your eye prefers to see that works. So again, we're going to ink in Pale Papaya, sponge dauber, and I'm gently dabbing. If you do it too hard, you are going to get round splotches from the round shape of the dauber. So very gently. And then you just kind of line up and stamp. And you get those peaches lined up with the 3 spots there of the branches. So that's how I did that. Super easy. And I wanted to remind you, if you were on the video not last week, but 2 weeks ago, because last week we were on the Stampin' Up trip in Maui. But if you remember that the expressions in ink that we did 2 weeks ago on our live, I was showing you this distinctive stamp pattern, which is very similar to this. This is like the distinctive where it's kind of stippled, not a solid image. And I was saying that if you have too much ink on your ink pad, what you need to do is grab like an old credit card and an expired gift card, or I just have this really old bone folder that I dedicate only to doing this. And you want to kind of scrape your ink away from the center And then that's where you would ink your stamp, because you need to push some of that ink out of the way. You can't get this beautiful look if your ink pads are super, super saturated with ink. So you can go back 2 weeks ago, would have been the 14th, and that's where that video was posted. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I hope that makes sense. But if you're getting too much ink and it's kind of splotchy, then that would be why. You need to kind of scoot that ink out of the way. So I hope you can see that difference. I hope that is making sense of why I did this. Oh, good. Susan says, great tip. Good. You're welcome. Oh, good. I'm glad this was helping. Awesome. 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 So then to put these cards together, really super simple, nothing magical or mystical at all about this. Like I said, I just grabbed the different colors. I think we'll go with the pale papaya today on this card. I've already cut and scored it. Let's do it this way. But I do like to use my bone folder, you know, just to give it that extra little nice fold. And let's find that one that I die cut with the scallops, because, oh, here it is, because it is just too cute with the scallops. Let's use that one. And we have this piece. So I made about 50 or so of these for thank you cards, and so I needed to be kind of quick. So here's what I found. I normally would add my adhesive to the back of designer paper, but it was much faster just to do this and then line this up and add this piece, and then I didn't have to handle 2 sticky pieces. See, that was just quicker for me. And that's how I did the backgrounds of these. And then we do need to stamp the greeting. So we can't put that on just yet. So let's see. I pulled out the birthday and the thank you. Let's make this one a birthday. And this is where the balmy blue comes in. Oh, and we need those cute little flowers. Yes. All right. So we're going to get that nice and inked. You may be thinking, that is a huge block for that stamp. I'll tell you why I like to do this. If I use, let me see if I have that smaller block handy. Yes. So technically, this birthday stamp, you can see right there, would fit on this block. Like it's probably meant to. However, when I mount a stamp on a block that's smaller like this, I find it harder to look through there and see exactly where I'm stamping. So if I put it on a bigger block, do you see how you can see all of that paper below and you can see really exactly where it's going to be stamped? So that's just my preference. It's, you know, not a rule or anything. It's just my preference of how I like to mount my stamps and stamp. It's just a tip. You can take it or leave it. All right, so there we have that. And then if you watch my videos, you know I love foam adhesive sheets instead of several dimensionals. Like I would probably put 6 or 8 dimensionals. And by dimensionals, I mean these. But what I really love to do is just cut my foam adhesive sheet. And I just use a whole piece on the back. That's my preference. It's quicker for me than adding lots of dimensionals. I don't have to pick all of those dimensionals off. And it ensures that my whole piece here is not going to like sag in the middle. So that's just my preference. And if you haven't purchased these or you haven't seen these, it comes like this. There are 6 sheets. It's called foam adhesive sheets. And it comes in a pack like that. You can cut them up into absolutely any size and do whatever you'd like with them. And so that's that simple card. Just really, really simple. But like I said, I made about 50 of them, so I had to be kind of quick. And you can see here that by combining all those different patterns and by using different scalloped edges or using the straight edge, you just get some really cute, fun, colorful patterns going on. So would you like to see it again? Do you want to see that with the larger peach? Or you probably get the idea. You probably don't really need to see that again, but I would do that one if you would like to. So that's just the larger peach. Today, so if you're watching live on May 28th, then you'll see this card and this card on my blog on pattystamps.com. So I'll just show you real quickly, even though the dimensions are there. This would be your 11-inch by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock, scored and folded in half, but I also scored at 1 inch away from the fold. So I added my 1-inch piece there, but you can see that I glued that little part shut, and it just makes something a little bit different. It's just a little bit of a surprise when people open it. It's kind of like a book binding edge or something, but otherwise same idea, same stamps. And then I just added a little bit of the pale papaya ribbon. Okay, so that's that fun fold that's on my blog today. The other fun fold is basically, again, the same 4 1/4 by 11, scored and folded in half. But then I just took off about 1 inch or 1.25 inches. You can, there's no magic to this. You can cut off whatever you'd like. And then I put a piece of the designer paper up here on the top flap and another piece in here just for a cute contrast. And then rather than just put this Stitched So Sweetly scalloped rectangle right on the front, I saw this piece of designer paper here from the You're a Peach set of designer paper, and I thought, well, that would be cute. It would make a cute little mat. And so I didn't cut it first. Again, there was no magical dimension here. I glued this on with my seal so that I would have dots all the way around. Isn't that cute? The polka dots just framed that, and then I trimmed it. And I thought that was kind of cute, and added the ribbon in there as well. And the Artistry Blooms sequins, I think match really nicely with this pale papaya and then also with the balmy blue. So I added those. Yes, okay, a couple of people said yes, they would like to see the larger peach stamped. So I'm going to do that. If you need to go, if you're watching live and you need to go, not a problem. I'll hang out for a minute. I'll stamp this one for you, show you how I did that. But thanks for joining me. If you need to dash off, I understand. If you want to hang out, I am here for a few more minutes. I do always appreciate you joining. Lots of fun. This is from the Tasteful Labels dies, by the way. This die that I used for this happy birthday card. And it's the large peach and the little stem. So in this case, I'm going to do the peach first and the stem second. I know we did that reversed for the first card. But same idea, where we're going to ink the whole peach with pale papaya. We're going to get that little sponge dauber and our coral ink ready. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm looking at this peach, thinking that I sort of want the edge and the bottom to have the contrasting darker color, and maybe right there, a little bit right at where the stem meets. And then stamp this down. And you always, you can't just like stamp and lift up. You really need to let this ink soak in. And there we have our two-toned effect. And then we will grab the Granny Apple Green for the stem. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Louise, I think you'll like this. I think she's saying she's thinking about getting it. Oh, so you know what? You could do it this way, or you can do it this way. I think both ways work. I just realized that. So we'll just do it like that. Really cute. And then you'll notice on this card, I used black for the greeting because I felt like the blue across that peach probably wouldn't show up as much. So I just usually grab my memento pad anytime that I'm stamping in black. And we will ink with memento and stamp it right across there. Like that. Cuteness, cuteness, cuteness. So that is how I did that. Okay, do you want to see? I'd like to show you this. And we'll hope that this works, right? So I want to show you around the edge here. Do you see? I'll use this as my pointer. Do you see how I have a peach line inside there? And then I have the darker edge. I want to show you how I did that. So I mentioned that this was the Tasteful Labels dies, and this is the die that was used for this. I need to grab one of my little sticky notes. So I just used a little Post-it sticky note. That anything will do, but this is what I grabbed. So here's what we're going to do. Put the die back on top of the cardstock, and you kind of move it around. I'm feeling for, maybe it's better if I show you this way. I'm feeling it to kind of nest in there. So that's where it would have die cut. Okay, I'm not going to move it. Turn it upside down, and I'm just going to attach those together so it doesn't slip around. So then I have my Pale Papaya marker. That's the in color marker. And I'm just going to draw inside that line, and that's what's going to give me that line in there. One thing I noticed though, if you kind of stop and start, the ink is soaking into that paper and you get a little dark splotch. So what I'm going to do is do my best to go kind of all the way around in a smooth motion. This is a little bit tricky, but we'll see. Let's see. So I'm trying here not to stop and start. Because if you do, then you'll get a little dark spot. And then we'll just finish that off. That's how you can get a really cool border on the inside. Doesn't that look fun? I thought it looked great. I thought that was really fun. And then if you like that darker border around the edge, it's just your regular old sponging that's been around for years and years, and you just start adding your darker color. You could do it in the same color, but I kind of like that contrast of the two colors because it's repeating them from the peach, the same colors. That's it. That's how I did that. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Tammy says, amazing tip. Thank you. So that was that. And you can do it with any die. Doesn't matter what die. Doesn't matter what colors. But just getting it nested in there, that's really the trick. So that it's perfectly centered and you have that equal border all the way around. Yay. That's that. So there we go. We'll look, in case you missed the beginning, we'll just look real quickly again. Page 60 and 61 is the You're a Peach suite. And these darling jam jars, I can't wait to play with these. I have not played yet. I wanted to just get some stamping done with this so that we could look at that. And it is in the new annual catalog from Stampin' Up. If you need a catalog, there is a link at pattystamps.com. If you need to purchase these supplies, I will be posting all of the supplies. Well, they are on my blog today because these 2 cards are already there. The other cards will be there tomorrow and next week. So yay, any questions on this? If you have questions, I would be happy to answer. And oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you. Thank you. We will be back next week again with more fun stamping on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you for joining me weekly. If you enjoyed this, I love to see hearts and thumbs ups. If you have a friend that might enjoy it, you can always share it. Yes, I do have, let me grab my daubers. They're in front of me, so I'm sorry I have to reach in front of you to grab this box. But yes, I've shown this in my organization posts, but this is my dauber box. And it's not actually a box. This is a container for lipstick. So if you search on Amazon for a lipstick holder, that's what this is. So there you can see is my little punch out for Calypso Coral. So that's where it goes. I have them all labeled. And I don't think this holds 50. So I don't have every single color, but these were my most used colors. Yep. So I do have an organizational video. If you go to my blog, pattystamps.com, and you click up at the top, I think it says Patty's Craft Room or My Craft Room. There are all links to all of my organizational craft room storage, all of that. You can find that there. You're welcome. I'm glad you found that helpful. Any other questions I can answer for you? Hope you have a great weekend, Memorial Day weekend this weekend. And I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Thanks, everybody. Bye.